G'day folks, it's Rob here and welcome to the channel. This week we're going to do another quick renovation update, just looking at what the guys got up to this week, and then I'll also share a clip I shot for the supporters. G'day folks and thank you. Just looking at the front yard veggie patch, and then we'll come back and we'll have a bit of a chat maybe upstairs, just looking at the plans for the garden in the future, once we move back in and get settled in, that is. So without any more nattering on, I'll take you down and give you a bit of a look at what they got up to. So first up this week, they laid the bed of mortar and started off the retaining wall, got one layer on, and then they started to sort out all the pipe work, running the stormwater from the gutters and also the drains on our little concrete paths all the way down to the drainage pit. Behind the retaining wall at the front of the house, they've got some slotted ag pipe, and that runs all the way down next to the retaining wall on the driveway, all behind the retaining wall along the back and along Pauline's side, and runs down into the drainage pit in the backyard, as well as the stormwater from the gutters for the time being until we get the rainwater tanks. Then around the slotted ag pipe, they've put in some geotextile just to keep some of the fine silt out. As you can see over here, it's done a pretty good job. I should be able to lift this up and there'll be no silt underneath, just the drainage gravel. This drainage gravel is the blue metal or basalt that a lot of people use in their aquaponics systems as well as a grow media, but this is what most people use it for, just as a straight drainage gravel. So that there is stopping the slotted ag pipe, that cloth in this, from becoming too clogged with small particles, and this cloth will be raised, and as more layers of this retaining wall go on, more rock will be added behind it. So that's where they got up with the wall itself. And as you can see, we've had a bit of rain since they've finished all this, so hopefully it'll dry out by Tuesday or Wednesday, when they'll have everything formed up and ready to pour the cement in. They have finished off covering the pipes. They've used some deco or decomposed granite just to fill in around the pipes, and on this area here they're just going to pour the cement straight on top. Over here there will be a board that comes out a little way from that mortar bed, and then there'll be a gap. I think it's roughly around about 50 to 60 mil, or just over 2 inches worth of a gap between the retaining wall and the path, and that path of course runs all along the back and then down the northern side. Oh, and by the way, we had the windows turn up as well. This set here goes on the deck between the new room and the deck. So down this side you can actually see some of the decomposed granite, and there's one of the stormwater pipes that comes out. That's the one that takes all the water from behind the retaining wall out, and this has its own separate pipe, and decomposed granite all the way down. And the same thing, they'll put a board about 50 to 60 mil, just over 2 inches from the edge of the mortar bed, and then pour the cement on top of that. So some little bit squishy. I might just walk on the wall here. So that's pretty much all what they got up to. Oh, and the retaining wall's been run around to the fence. Now down the back here, we still have a bit of a clayey quagmire. So what they were trying to do was just square all this up and bring it up to level on Friday before the rain hit. John didn't want to form everything up, because as you can see, a lot of it's washed away because not all the gutters have been connected yet. So hopefully things will dry out and I'll be able to get the concrete poured by mid next week. And a lot of this soil, I was speaking to John about that, we are going to try and use to terrace off the backyard, bring it up probably about no higher than 400 or 600. So what's that? Roughly 600 is roughly around about 2 foot in that back corner down there. So we've got a nice flat area just below the concrete level down the back, and we'll be able to do some sort of garden arrangement there, or maybe a pond. Something I forgot to mention while we're out here is the retaining wall was filled back in. They painted down the side of the block work with some tar to make it waterproof. They put in the ag line I mentioned before, the slotted ag pipe, and then covered it basically with this rubble. This is a drainage rubble. It's some people call it urbanite, mainly because it's bits of broken up brick and bits of concrete. It's all been recycled. This will stop the water from pooling behind here. It'll run down through here, through the ag pipe, which is higher at that end, and run eventually all the way down back into the pit over there. So as you can see, there's a fair bit of water sitting on top of this granite here that needs to dry out before they can pour the cement next week. So yeah, a little bit disappointing about that. Means it's probably going to be maybe end of next week before they do it. But there's some stuff they can do upstairs, which I'll just take you up and give you a gander at now. So the windows arrived this week. Oh, and so did Bianca. Hello, Bianca. The windows arrived this week, and John and Joey got the kitchen window and the back walkway window in. From there, there's a little landing, and then the stairs go downstairs. So they got them in on Friday, as well as some of this the corner bits and pieces. It was too wet to do anything else on Friday after around about 10 o'clock. So this is what they finished off with. And there's the rest of the windows in there, except for that double door downstairs. So as for everything else, yeah, they pretty much all haven't done anything. I've started to build a little tripod so I can finish off the clip there. But yeah, that's pretty much all they got up to. The wet weather, you know, you can't really account for that. And looking at that soil, I reckon there's more soil there than we need to terrace out the back. What do you think, Bea?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I dare say John will be taking some of that home. Where we are thinking about terracing is pretty much just to where it ends on that blue barrel there. So just there, we'll bring it up to level with the concrete. A bit hard for you guys to work out now, but I will show you eventually. So that'll give us a nice big flat area for a small little maybe 3 raft aquaponics system. Oh really? Oh, we'll have to discuss and negotiate, hey Bianca? Yes. Yes. So anyway, there you go. Yeah, we'll have a bit of a look at a clip that I shot for the supporters earlier on in the week. So I'll get back to you after that, and we'll chat about yeah, our plans for the garden. This is the small mountain of soil they took out digging the hole down the back, that 2 cubic meters or 2 cubic yards ish hole. So we've got this big pile of soil in the front yard that has to be gotten rid of. They'll use it hopefully landscaping down the back, and out the front here we've suggested maybe they might be able to use some of it just to level off this area. Yeah, I didn't show that the other day. I thought I'd give you a quick gander. Oh, something else I saw on one of the beds. So I was around here watering yesterday, and I noticed we had a number of spears pop up in the bed here. So there's about half a dozen in here we could have harvested, but I decided to leave them on, you know, just so the plant gets some energy through winter. And over in this bed here, there's a couple as well I probably could have taken off. There's this one there. We probably still could take off the tips, and there's a few others over there. So the garden is still producing a little bit. Just changed my footing, folks. Just to give you a look at some of the other plants along the front here, a lot of these beds dried out once or twice through the hot weather, so they're not looking that crash hot. This is the yacon, also hasn't been fed up for a couple of months either. So yeah, you can see some of the die off, and there's some new shoots coming through. I'm not expecting a huge harvest. I'm pretty much all just writing off a lot of things this season. The Hawaiian sweet potatoes we have been harvesting the leaves of. We're pretty much all doing low carbs at the moment, so we've been using the leaves in a few things. For some reason these leaves are all looking a bit manky, but the same plant which grew over the top of the next bed and established itself is looking all right. So I'm definitely thinking that I should have been feeding this bed up. I mean, also too, just the height of these yacon. They're only, what, about 1 metre tall with the tallest one there. So they definitely haven't had all the nutrition they needed to grow to their full potential. With the banana plants, we've got this trunk here blew over with the wind. It actually died and the bananas didn't develop. That trunk over there from the plant, it did have a nice bunch on it. We chopped them off and gave them to some mates who gave us a hand. Thank you very much, folks. And there is one trunk over there. I was going to prop it up, but I figured, hey, it's on the fence. It's doing the same job, and those fruit are developing. And the other beds over there, we just got warrigal greens, overgrowing ones, some turmeric in the corner. Those are 2 end beds I haven't done anything with. And yeah, the sweet potatoes starting to take over the old amaranth bed. I mean, these guys did look very spectacular while they were in full bloom. But yeah, at the moment they're looking a bit ratty and tatty. One more thing I thought I'd show you is the volunteers we've got all around the place. We've got a load of the pigeon pea. So whatever happened, I've never had them pop up like this before, but for some reason the volunteers have taken off. I'm not too sure whether it's got something to do with the fresh clay that's been disturbed, but over here we just had a hedge, I will still do, a small plantation of the pigeon pea, and when it was just the small pile out the front here, it was just absolutely chockers with them. So yeah, thought that might interest a few of you. So I was hoping by now to have a couple of crops in those wicking beds out the front, because they're the only real soil beds I have access to at the moment. I think I might leave it for a little while though, just until all the soil has been moved and some of the other bits and pieces, debris that needs to be taken off to the dump from the renovations. What I'm looking at doing is some alliums out the front, maybe some garlic, and also the brassicas, broccoli and some cauliflower as well. And it'd be nice to get some more chard in the ground too. So that's the plan for out the front, but I'm going to wait for that area to be cleared off a bit. Now down the back here, we've held off designing where we're going to put gardens, and mainly because we're going to A, terrace out the back, and B, also to the house, the position it's in now, because it's been raised and we have this section that's going out towards the backyard. We will be receiving less sunlight in certain areas around the backyard. That was made pretty obvious yesterday actually when I popped around and took a bit of a snap at 3:30 in the afternoon. As you can see, there is a big shadow that runs basically from the back of the house all the way to the front of the hoop house where it stands at the moment. So in the spring and autumn there will be less sunlight towards the house, so I need to plan the garden accordingly for that. During winter we'll have no problems whatsoever. The sun comes from the north, so that aspect over there pretty much will leave the whole backyard open for sunlight to hit it through winter. There's just this area just directly behind the back of the house here that we're going to have to come up with a few other ideas on what we're going to grow there and how we're going to grow. For the time being though, after we move back in, I will be redesigning the aquaponics system and actually getting some fish in there. I want to include some better filtration and maybe remove one of the beds and add in a floating raft using some rafts I got from Bluestone Aquaponics. Thank you very much, Dave. That's the plans for the aquaponics. So yeah, not a lot to report upon. Hopefully next week there'll be a bigger update on the house, and I might include another aquaponic clip as well. This week's just been flat out trying to fix up the website after a bit of a catastrophe, and I'm also doing other bits and pieces behind the scenes. I had my first consultation. G'day Michael, and I hope you enjoyed it, mate. Just looking at his aquaponic system and what he'd like to build. So I've got some literature I need to draw up and send through to Michael before the end of next week. And I'll be posting that information over, or links to that information, over on Subscribestar for our 3rd tier and up patrons over there, or supporters over there. Shouldn't really call them patrons. And just lastly as well, there goes the camera. I've got it balancing on a couple of sawhorses. Sorry folks, lucky I caught you before you hit your head though. There we go. Just quickly, a bit of a reminder for everyone, tomorrow is the last Patreon hangout, because I will be closing my Patreon account after the account after the hangout tomorrow. And I just want to thank you all for you know, the support that you have shown us. So if you can come along, that'd be fantastic. And I'd also like to let you know that I don't expect anyone to follow us over to Subscribestar. You folks all need to do what you think is right for you and your family. If you wanted to continue supporting us, I thank you very much. If you'd like to end your support for the channel in that respect, you know, not a problem whatsoever, no hard feelings. I am so appreciative of the support and the help you folks have given me. I could never expect anything more. So yeah, I just needed to say that. Almost lost you again, folks. Next time I'm going to bring around the tripod, I think, and put the phone on that. So anyway, where were we? I was pretty much all saying thank you. That's right. Thank you folks for coming along and just supporting us through watching the clips and saying g'day and offering your comments and suggestions. And also you folks who are asking questions. While I don't have time to answer all of them straight away, I do appreciate them because they get me thinking. If I don't know something, I go away and learn, come back and help you folks out. So I really do appreciate that. But yeah, I better sign off before I break my little DJI and my phone. I do hope you're all well and happy and your own gardens and aquaponics are booming, and fingers crossed there'll be a bit of an aquaponics clip next week. I'll catch you later. Cheers folks, have a top one. So just having a little bit of a look around upstairs, and Bee's just pulled that vine out of the wall. There's a little bit down there left. And then it grew up around the corner, up behind the plaster, and it actually grows, oh, it looks like it was trying to grow next door. So there you go, the things you find. That's really bizarre.
Oh, look, there's more here.
There's more over there?
Oh, it's
or under the window.
up in the window frame.
Well, there you go, folks. I just thought I'd include this at the end of the clip. A little bit of a discovery we found in the old house. Cheers all, have a top one.